Happy Championship Sunday, everyone! Welcome to another episode of Fantasy Focus brought to you by the Original Hooters and Monkey Knife Fight. And I am Sam Holtz, joined as always by Ryan Levy and Derek Tate. It's been a minute. I might be a little bit off my game today, but that's okay because we're all together and we get to watch a lot of football today. I can only guess what team you guys are rooting for.
I feel like a kid on Christmas, and I know you do too, Tater.
Speaking of it's been a minute, it's been 18 long years, but finally, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have returned to the NFC Championship game. Let's go! Let's go! I'm going to try not to scream too much.
Yeah, because it's going to hurt if you scream.
I mean, they want to unplug those headphones, and so Knox can get in on this hype, because I'm bringing the pain today, baby, up here in Cadillac, Michigan, representing the Bucs. Let's go!
Yeah, Knox is very passed out in the sun right now. He's not on anyone's level. But I'm very excited for these games. I know that we want to go through some prop bets for both games, but, I mean, let's just talk a little bit, really quick, news notes that came out this week. Stafford is going to be parting ways with the Lions. Your initial reactions when you heard this? Surprised?
Not at all. You have a new regime coming in there yet again for the Detroit Lions. Matthew Stafford is a quarterback that isn't exactly – he's probably peaked as far as where he's going to be in his NFL career. He has probably, I'd say, 2 to 3 years left of prime Matthew Stafford. He wants to go somewhere and compete for a championship. I believe that he just doesn't want to be a part of another rebuild, new GM, new head coach there in the Motor City. I mean, he's done what he could for this Detroit franchise, and I think it's just time for them to mutually part ways so they can build a new future around a new quarterback.
Levy?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised either. I think a lot of this, how this is going to unfold, is going to depend on the situation with Desean Watson. Because if Desean Watson's going to get traded, obviously that's going to depend on where the openings are, right? So maybe he's the future quarterback. When I say Stafford is the future quarterback of the Texans, or maybe he goes to Washington football team. Let's see. I don't really have any initial speculations, I guess. Do you guys have any thoughts where you think he'd be a good fit?
I would love Stafford to end up with the Colts because I feel like he could use that offensive line very well. Just because I feel like I agree. I mean, it's Fraggers commenting right now for us in the chat, which I love him. He's saying that Stafford is the most underrated quarterback in football, and I agree. He's very underrated, and I feel like with the right system, he could see an uptick in success. So I don't know. I feel like. Could he have peaked? Yes, I kind of agree, Tate. But also, I think with the right situation, he could see a lot of success.
We'll just have to wait and see where he winds up, and it depends on that term underrated is very subjective. It depends on what you consider underrated. I think that Stafford is pretty well respected within the NFL circles because the man has been a solid franchise quarterback. He's just never been, in my opinion, a top 5 guy under center. And but he can be a veteran quarterback presence. And the Colts are a very intriguing option now that Phillip Rivers has decided to hang it up after 17 awesome seasons in the National Football League. He's certainly a borderline Hall of Famer for me. Desean Watson, though, the bidding war. You feel like, is he going to move at all? I know that he's been unhappy with not having a say in a lot of things that have gone on within that Houston Texans organization. And he's carried that franchise for the better part of since he entered the NFL. So it's interesting to see where the chips may fall for Desean Watson. I think the Miami Dolphins are very intriguing because they are loaded up with draft capital, including a Texans first-round pick that is at number 3 overall, oddly enough. And a young quarterback that I'm not sure that they fully believe in after a kind of a very hit or miss / rocky finish to Tua Tagovailoa's start to his NFL career. So I think that the Miami Dolphins is very intriguing because they have so much draft capital.
Yeah, I'm also really intrigued to see what happens specifically with the Jets, the Broncos. Like, do they believe in Darnold? Do they believe in Drew Lock? I mean, there's just a lot of moving pieces this offseason. I don't think I've been this excited for an offseason, but,
I feel like this is going to be like every year, I think the offseasons get crazier and crazier. But this year, I think that based on the potential quarterback moves, this is just far too exciting to not, just stay hyped from here on out. But for me, I think what makes me kind of bummed about the Dolphins talk is this with rookie quarterbacks, if they don't hit their first year, immediately the question is, okay, are they even the right fit? Is he not the guy that we thought he was? Just because these players are not a Josh Allen or a Lamar Jackson coming out the gates swinging, I feel like it's kind of sad that these guys don't get given a bigger chance. So I hope that they don't move on from him.
So
I feel like he's got so much potential.
You make very interesting points. It's just more so it's hard for us on the outside looking in. We get to look at their Sunday production, right?
Sure.
They're there every day in the practice room, in the film rooms, the position rooms, everything that goes into the daily aspects of getting to evaluate a player once they're in the building. Didn't it kind of happen with the Arizona Cardinals just a couple years ago with Josh Rosen, and they took him I think it was definitely in the first round. I forget exactly where it was. In the
10th overall, yeah.
They took him in the first round, 10 overall, and then it certainly wasn't his fault that the Arizona Cardinals were a hot mess that year. But you had the opportunity to take a quarterback that you felt was a superior talent in Kyler Murray. So you traded and parted ways and cashed out your chips while there was still some value left on Josh Rosen. Is that going to be the same thing with Tua Tagovailoa? I mean, certainly someone is still willing to buy the upside, and it may be the Houston Texans who can, downgrade at quarterback but get some draft capital in the process. And Deshaun Watson, I mean, yeah, it's not apples to apples because you're not drafting a new quarterback, but you're getting a proven superstar who has plenty years left on his prime in Deshaun Watson.
Sure. I guess I'm just not to be, hating on the Dolphins. I would love to see Deshaun Watson with a team that has a really solid receiving core that can give him as much as he needs to make those legs run.
Don't disparage Devonta Parker.
I have nothing against Devonta Parker. I know that he's your guy, Levy. So I know as soon as I said it, Ryan's be like, but my boy. Like, no, it's not. No offense to Devonta Parker. I just think that Deshaun Watson deserves more receivers than just one guy.
Of course. No, I still think that they have some nice pieces in Mike Gesicki. We'll see what they can do in free agency too, because I think we're going to see some interesting options available in free agency. And in particular, the Miami Dolphins have the number 3 overall pick as of this moment. Could they go Devontae Smith? Could they go Jamar Chase? Yeah, they could. They could definitely bolster that wide receiver group in what is going to be a very interesting offseason. And speaking of offseason moves, Sam, the Steelers, they picked up a quarterback. Is it one that you like or Dwayne Haskins? What do you think?
Last weekend, I was talking with my dad about our Steelers, and because we go back and forth, like we have control over the locker room and the say of who our team picks, like you do. And we were talking about, we need to make a move at quarterback. Ben's not going to be there forever. And if he is playing next season, I could see him playing a couple games and then swapping him out for someone else. And I'm like, maybe we're going to be able to trade up and get someone else in the draft, or maybe we make a move. As soon as I heard Deshaun Watson wasn't happy, I was like, hey, he likes the Watt family. Why doesn't he just join the brothers and everyone else, and everyone can get along in Pittsburgh? That would be really nice. And then side note, I would love to also just take JJ while we're at it. That'd be great. Just get out, get along together. So that, you have your big dreams of things that you would love to see for your team. And then you're scrolling Twitter and you see this news and you're like, Haskins isn't on the Steelers. Oh, I guess that's our move.
It's a move.
It's a move.
It's a move.
It's not the move I wanted.
It's not going to make you feel good. Personally, I think that Dwayne Haskins blew his opportunity to redeem himself with the team that invested incredibly high draft capital in him in the Washington football team. It took him at 15th overall, and Ron Rivera gave him the opportunity to start the season as the starting quarterback with this football team that clearly had some talent on the roster. And he squandered the opportunity so much that he got benched for Kyle Allen. Then Kyle Allen got hurt. Alex Smith, thank God. What a great story, by the way. NFL Comeback Player of the Year. So happy for Alex Smith and everything that he's been through. Just cannot be more ecstatic for the guy who had a life-threatening injury on the football field, and he was back playing again. So congratulations to him. Seriously, good vibes. But Alex Smith goes down via injury, and Dwayne Haskins has another opportunity to be the starting quarterback of the football team. And what does he do? He goes out after losing to the Seattle Seahawks, a game in which he threw 2 interceptions, and you could point to his play as one of the reasons they lost. and he's out partying without a mask on. Like, where are his priorities? Are you not trying to make the most of your chance to potentially prove to this organization that you're the guy moving forward potentially? Like, hey, I learned my lesson. I've been studying. I've been in the film room. Nah, dude, you're out like partying like during the week when you have a chance to help your team make a playoff push. That's such a bad look.
At a strip club. Not just partying. He's at a strip club without a mask on. I mean, not a good look at all. But I don't think he's the guy. I don't think he's the future.
I don't think he's the guy either. I think he's
I don't think he's the future. I do think that it is what I do have faith in is Mike Tomlin, and I think that he is a fantastic coach. And as far as a player like that that's going to act out or have issues, I think that there's no better coach than Mike Tomlin. I mean, for years he put up with Antonio Brown and his shenanigans, and he was productive. We didn't hear half of the shenanigans until after Antonio left. And then we're like, Jesus, you were dealing with a guy that was absolutely destroying the locker room, and you still put together wins with this crazy person. Not saying that Haskins is Antonio Brown. I'm saying he's really good at dealing with personalities in the locker room in order to get a win. So I think as far as having a really strong-minded coach to knock the nonsense out of him, I think he's going to do that. So I'm excited to see what he can do to help him. Do I think that Dwayne Haskins is the future of the Steelers? I do not. Also, thanks, Dried Ocean. That hurts.
Have we seen the end of Ben?
I feel like we probably have seen the end of Ben. I do not think that he's retiring in this offseason. I feel like we'll have him a couple games to begin next season, but I feel like, he's on his way out. He came back from this surgery and he was throwing fantastic, but clearly age is just not matching up with this new bionic arm that he has. So
he's no Tom Brady. Let's get real there.
I mean, I'm not trying to blow smoke up your skirt there, Levy, on that one. So no one can compete with Brady, who is,
the bigger issue at hand for Big Ben, and I think you'll agree, is those plays where he's able to buy time and extend the play. Those are all but gone for Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, you're basically asking him to be a statutory quarterback when a lot of what made him great, and possibly the greatest improvisational quarterback of all time, and just extending the play with how difficult he was to get to the ground. I don't see those type of plays very often from Ben Roethlisberger in 2020, and they're not going to get any better moving into 2021. But, the Steelers also, too, when it comes to their cap situation, they've got some interesting decisions to make as far as who they're going to throw some money at in the offseason. I mean, they very well, I think James Conner's gone. I think that we're going to see potentially, they have to make a decision on Juju Smith-Schuster because they have a pretty good, deep wide receiver room, but Juju is also a fantastic talent. So we're going to have to see what they decide to go with him. I mean, of course, Bud Dupree before he got hurt, I think he's gone. There's going to be some interesting offseason financial decisions that the Pittsburgh Steelers have to make. So but there are still some teams playing right now, like later today. There's 4 of them, actually, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are one of them, baby. Yeah!
Let's go Packers! Woo!
Oh, what with that? Why?
Because I can. Honestly, the way that Rodgers has played all year this year, he has earned this. Like, he has put in the work. He has just shown up time and time again. And I'm excited for him as far as, his career and what we've seen him, the highs and lows. He is riding this high, and I just want to see him finish it out. I get it. It's exciting for your Bucs. I'm not trying to rain on that parade. I'm just very excited for the train that Rodgers is on right now.
Rodgers is going to win the MVP this year.
Yeah, he should. Absolutely.
He should. He's right there. I mean, I think Patrick Mahomes also was right there, but the way Rodgers finished the season, I think that you give the nod to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. But he's not playing for, a participation trophy. He's playing for the big one.
I understand, but what I'm trying to get at, I guess, what I'm trying to alleviate to is that Aaron Rodgers, you think the guy may have been playing with a chip on his shoulder this year after what the organization decided, the direction they decided to go in the NFL draft? You trade up to take Jordan Love like a quarterback? Really? You made the NFC Championship game last year. You got waxed by the 49ers, because you couldn't stop the run, and you also could not protect Aaron Rodgers, and you didn't have a complementary weapon, Devonta Adams. Like that, those were the like three things that like, hey, we're heading into the NFL draft. You know, we got a team that was one game away from the Super Bowl. How can we help Aaron Rodgers? Let's move up to take a quarterback. Then your second best player on offense was Aaron Jones. Let's go ahead and draft his eventual replacement, right, A.J. Dillon in the second round. Like all that, they basically gave him nothing in the offseason, and Aaron Rodgers said, bump this noise. I'm going to go ahead and stick it to my own organization and prove the front office they made a big-ass mistake, and I'm still that dude behind center, and he's had a fantastic year. But when we start talking about the preview for this game, Levy, because I feel like Sam is leaning towards going Packers. How do you see this one? I want to hear your thoughts, like your gut reaction. What do you think? Because I got plenty to say, but I don't want to hog the mic. I'm going to throw it to you first. What do you think, and how do you think this one's going to play out at Lambeau Field?
Listen, I got a great night's sleep. I've got a clear head. I just cracked my first beer. Woke up at 6 a.m. this morning with the Buccaneer chills in my gut. I'm feeling great. The over-under is set at 53 points for this game. Packers are 3-point favorites at home. I understand it. All the professionals are out there are picking the Packers, it seems. But my projection, I have the Bucs 31 as they average 30.8 points per game, my friend. And I have the Packers at 24. So I'm actually going to take the over in this game. I am a little bit concerned with Antoine Winfield being banged up, but we got Vita Vea back, baby. He is going to stuff Aaron Jones today. Everyone's so quick to forget that 38-10 victory the Bucs put together back in week 5 before they were even gelling. Now, I know the Packers are much improved. They won 6 straight to end the season and all that good stuff. But listen, we're talking about Tom Brady here. You can talk about Aaron Rodgers and the great season he had all you want, but we are talking about Championship Sunday GOAT himself, Mr. Tom Brady. How weird does it? It's finally settling in here. We've got Tom Brady under center in Tampa Bay. And it's Championship Sunday. I know. The history books don't get any better than this. Let's go. Fire the damn
crazy storyline. I get it. It's a crazy storyline that he, in the first year that he moves to the Bucs, he is in Championship Sunday, that he's here. He's gotten you guys here. And then I can only imagine, as you guys are both diehard Bucs fans, how that must feel waking up this morning, knowing where you were the year before with Jameis doing what he did to you guys, and to have Brady in this situation. I mean, that's literally like taking an Etch-a-Sketch, wiping it clean, and starting something brand new.
Well, I actually think it's, you wipe it clean, but if you drew something really nice and you found a way to tilt that Etch-a-Sketch and keep the good part that you had with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, then you got to like tilt that MFer a little the way you want to and redraw the quarterback position. And it was a lot of other things. I mean, the fact that the front office and Jason Light, who I've given a lot of shit over the years, and rightfully so, he's definitely had some misses, but the fact that he was able to bring in the amount of talent to buy in for a 1-year push behind Tom Brady, it has worked out. They've clearly pushed their chips all into the center. They haven't won yet. They still got 2 more games to win to really take home the hardware. But Sam, and Levy, you brought up that loss that the Packers had at Raymond James Stadium, right? So I want to go ahead and talk about, yes, the Bucs. Like, you remember that first quarter, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers moved the ball up and down the field. I mean, They marched right down the field. The Bucs came out playing a lot of man-to-man coverage. And even though outside of Devonta Adams, I'm not a huge fan of Allen Lazard and Marquez Valdez-Scantling, but schemed up properly, you're still going to get the looks that you want against man coverage, and Rodgers will find them if you're only going to play him straight up and rush 4 guys. I know it's dangerous to try to heat up Aaron Rodgers, to try to blitz him, but the way that they had success was to bring 5 or more at Aaron Rodgers and try to make him uncomfortable and get the football out of his hands. That's when he started making some mistakes. Yes, if you do that, you live at your own peril because Rodgers can beat you deep. And Bill Belichick straight up won't bring cover zeros at Aaron Rodgers because he knows that man is going to let it rip downfield. And there was a couple misses that Rodgers didn't see or just flat out missed against the Bucs in their first matchup. But that is really where it's going to be at for the Bucs. I see them forcing Aaron Rodgers and this Packers offense quite a bit into 3rd and long, right? Because Vita Vea is back. It's going to be very tough to run the football against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at close to full strength. When I'm taking a look, though, at the back end of it, if I'm telling you, this scares me, Antoine Winfield Jr., the talented rookie out of Minnesota, who's had himself a hell of a season, back end, you have any shortcomings, Aaron Rodgers can make you pay, as we all know. So I think that the play action is going to be less effective because you're not going to be able to establish a true running game against this Buccaneers unit up front. But Rodgers, if they can hold up in protection, and this is why I think the Bucs are going to win, Sam. I'm focusing mostly on that side. David Bakhtiari is the best left tackle in pass protection in the National Football League. I partied with him on a cruise way back when. His older brother almost kicked my ass. It's okay.
Sounds like a very real story.
It's fine. David Bakhtiari is the king in the North with the way that man can chug beers. If you went to a Milwaukee Bucks game and saw that chug off between him and Aaron Rodgers, David Bakhtiari is that dude. And he is not available for this game. And the way that the Bucs can get after you with Shaq Barrett, with JPP, and then even bringing Levante David and more so Devin White, who had, by the way, like 9 sacks this season from a middle linebacker position, they're going to, as long as they can get to Rodgers quick enough, and I think they will without Bakhtiari, I think the Bucs can slow down what has been a great season for Aaron Rodgers and a very, very, very effective Packers unit. But we can talk about the other side of the football now. I'll tell you my score after we get to talk a little bit more, but you guys go ahead and unravel everything I just broke down. Sorry, that was very long-winded, but you understand why now.
Yeah, I think there's blood coming out my ears. Yeah, all right. I turned down the volume a little bit because but you're excited. You're excited. It's your team. I get it. I mean, Levy, I know and understand you probably completely agree with Tate on this. Your defense is going to be there to be the one that slows down Aaron Rodgers, and that's how you guys are going to get this win, is if and when that can happen. Now, I feel like based on Rodgers' track record, when he is put into a corner, he's going to throw his way out. And he's just so damn accurate when he is put in that situation. I mean, isn't that a bit scary for you guys? Do you feel like, the safeties and out wide are going to be able to cover Devonta Adams because he is the best receiver in the league?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm with Tate. I mean, I mentioned it earlier as well. Winfield being banged up, that hurts. There's no doubt about it. And if the Bucs are beatable anywhere, it's through the air. So I certainly expect Rodgers to have a good game. I could see him throwing for 300 yards in this game, but when all is said and done, the way the Bucs defense is playing right now, that's where my confidence is. I mean, Brady's playing great, obviously. I do think the Bucs will be able to run the ball a bit today. We got playoff Lenny. Let's not forget about playoff Lenny. But, I do think that the Bucs defense ultimately is going to win this game for him. That's what it comes down to. If we can get one pick out of Aaron Rodgers and a couple sacks, game over.
Gotcha. Okay, so Levy gave us his game score prediction. Tate, what's yours? Levy said 31 Bucs, 24 for Packers. Where are you?
The matchup to watch for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is against Devonta Adams, Carlton Davis, Sean Murphy-Bunting, Jamel Dean. Like that collection of the 3 main cover corners for the Green Bay Packers, who's going to win that battle? Last week, the Bucs did a great job against all-world talent Michael Thomas, but Michael Thomas also reportedly dealing with some injuries. He's going to have he's going to have an injury, a couple off-season surgeries, torn labrum, some of the some ligament damage, more than likely in his ankle. I don't think Michael Thomas was Michael Thomas, and by the way, he was like a knee away from making a ridiculous one-handed catch in the end zone to really get the Saints off and running last week. That did not happen. The Bucs did their thing. They got the W. That's all that matters. So my score prediction, I don't think it's going to be super high scoring. I think it's going to be middle of the road because you do have Brady and Rodgers, but we saw how playoff football really plays out against 2 equally talented teams, right? Last week with Brady and Breeze, It's a possession-based game, moving the clocks, extending drives. All slant, boy. That's right. Bye-bye, Michael Thomas. Enjoy watching the game from your couch, baby. 24-21, Tampa Bay. I think the Buccaneers I think Rojo is going to be the unsung hero in this football game. You said Uncle Lenny, Levy. I'm going with Rojo. I think he's the more explosive back.
Oh, I agree.
And don't get me wrong. I know that we made a lot about, the Saints defense and even the week prior with Chase Young and that talented unit up front for the Washington football team. Make no mistake, the Green Bay Packers can definitely get after the quarterback with two quality pass rushers in Preston Smith and Zadarius Smith, I believe it is. That is going to be the key to me. Establishing a running game for Tom Brady and let him build off play action. And I think the Bucs can do that today. So I've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in what is going to be a hard-fought game, but really, I believe in my boy Chobe saying blitzing Rodgers is a huge risk. I agree, but that's what flipped the script at Tampa Bay when the Buccaneers pulled off the one smackdown that was laid to Aaron Rodgers and company the entire regular season. It's always risky to blitz great quarterbacks, but if you don't blitz great quarterbacks and you give them all day to set up and pick you apart, they will, because they're surgeons. They're all-time greats. So, yeah, he will burn us one or a couple times, but it's whether or not he burns us 5 to 8 times.
Right.
I'm okay getting burnt once or twice, but if it keeps happening and that unit up front for the Packers is able to pick up the blitz or just hold up long enough in a 4-man rush with some talented pass rushers for the Bucs and give Rodgers enough time, that's going to be where the battle is won or lost for the Bucs.
All right. I'm going to give you my, score prediction, but I'm going to go with the Packers there for the win. And given that I think that Rodgers is going to be throwing out of his mind over 300 yards, I'm going to go with 36-31 Packers.
Wow.
So I'm going to go with a really high scoring game.
Big overs.
I'm going to go big on the overs, but I'm going to go with the edge to Rodgers on that one.
Ooh, Winfield is officially out, Dried Ocean is saying. That is not great.
Ew, not good. Do you guys want to pull up a Monkey Knife Fight screen and go through a couple of these prop bets for the game?
I can do it. Let's
do that. Let's help everyone.
I think I'm capable of doing it. Give me a
guys. If you haven't already, please go on Monkey Knife Fight and you can use code FOCUSED, and they will match the $50 that you add in to make bets today. They will match it. So go ahead and go get your free money. Monkey Knife Fight, code FOCUSED. Join us in some of these prop bets now.
Oh, it's making me log in again. Uh-oh. Yo.
What's your password?
Oh, yeah. There we go. And my username, by the way, is Sadie Puppy, just in case anybody was curious.
No one can see because the grid is in the way.
Hold on. Okay, so here we go. I don't know. I must have timed out.
It's okay. Technical difficulties. We'll be there. There we go.
So let's go more or less, right? We got more or less, and it's pretty much predicted that Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady are being projected for right around the same yardage total through the air. 287 for Rodgers, 286 for Tom Brady. Levy, I'm curious. I'll let you. You're the gambling aficionado here for us here at Fantasy Focused. Give me your thoughts on this.
I'm going more and more. That's just the way I feel. I mean, Brady one's easy for me. He's been doing it for several weeks now. Yeah. And Rodgers, like I said, if the Bucs can be beat anywhere, it's through the air, in my opinion. So I'm going to go more on Rodgers as well. Even though he's been really efficient, he's always like, in the first half, 180 and 3 touchdowns, no picks, and then he doesn't do anything in the second half. I just think this game's going to be much closer here. So I'm going to go more and more.
Yeah.
Sam?
More and more for me as well. I think this is going to be a high-scoring one, and air raid offenses on both sides. I mean, Brady, we all know what he's good at, and it's having a scalpel-like accuracy to tear up defenses. And I feel like he's going to still have a great game today. I just think that Rodgers is going to have a little bit better game.
Well, I've got less on Brady, not because he's not capable of throwing for 286 yards. Of course he is. It's more so game flow and the way the Buccaneers are going to be able to run their offense don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Brady isn't the main cog in this, but if you can run the ball effectively, which I think is the proper way to attack the Green Bay Packers defensive unit, run the football, get downhill a little bit, and then build off it with play action. No Antonio Brown today. That doesn't necessarily hurt that much because you got Scotty Miller, who I think offers more of a vertical threat at this point than Antonio Brown does, because Scotty Miller can straight fly. So for me in particular, I'm going more on Aaron Rodgers because I just don't see the path for the Packers being able to run the football effectively against the Bucs. I think the offense is going to rely on Aaron Rodgers for good or for better or worse. I got more on Aaron. I've got less on Tom Brady. So since it's my account, I want to go with the way I like, but I will go ahead just for you guys' purposes. I will go ahead and go with the whole $2 because I don't believe in it, but I trust you guys enough to put $2 in it.
We got to get a 6 out of 6 in there, though.
Yeah, baby. But no, we got other ones I want to play. When it comes to touchdown dance, you can do that. There's all kinds of games on Monkey Knife Fight, by the way. If you haven't yet done so, go to monkeyknifefight.com. When you create an account and make your first deposit, just remember to use that code FOCUSED, and you'll get up to $50, whatever your first initial deposit is, into your account when you use that promo code. So, but Levy, really the rapid fires is where we're at with this one, baby. And let's go ahead and get I want to see, we got a 3-for-3 rapid fire. Let's go. We got Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. So who do you think throws for more yards? Because it's almost a coin flip, only 1.5 yard bonus for Tom Brady. Who do you see throwing for more yards in this game?
I hate to say it, but like I said, I think the Bucs are going to be able to run the ball, and if they're going to win, they're going to win through defense and establishing the run as well on offense. So I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers.
I knew you were going Aaron Rodgers, and I'm going.
Discount double check.
Are we all going Aaron Rodgers across the board?
I mean, I get it. I think that honestly, with also the way that the running game has been working for the Bucs, I think that Brady doesn't need to throw it as much as Rodgers does, and I feel like, that front is going to be stout for Aaron Jones, although I love Aaron Jones to death, and I owe him like a dozen fruit baskets for getting me as many wins as he's done over the years. But I feel like the running game is going to be a bit more successful for the Bucs, and for that reason, I think that Rodgers is going to throw a lot.
Okay, so we're in agreement on Aaron Rodgers. Devonta Adams versus Chris Godwin in straight-up receptions. Chris Godwin is getting a reception and a half handicap. Sam, I'll throw it to you first. Devonta Adams is a machine. Chris Godwin is more than capable. Who do you like matchup-wise in this one more?
I'm still giving the edge to Adams, although I love that they're giving Godwin a handicap against him. I think that's kind of hilarious. I still think Adams is he's the best receiver in the league, and he's gotten the Packers here because of it. So I'm still giving the edge to Adams.
All right, so this one's tough for me, but with Brady, one thing we know about Brady is he loves to spread the ball around. It's hard on any given week to predict who's going to have 6-7 catches. And even with no Antonio Brown, Tyler Johnson's going to get involved. Scotty Miller's going to get involved. Cameron Brate had 4 catches last week. Gronk's going to get involved. Obviously, Mike Evans is going to get involved, but Evans is probably going to get the Alexander treatment, right? I'm going to go with Sam here. I'm going to go with Adams, 1.5. He's the guy.
He's
and
the
we don't
guy.
know in any given week how things are going to go in terms of the pass catchers for Tom Brady.
I'm glad Will Jenkins is having fun betting my money. Yeah.
We all have fun using the money to make bets.
It's all fun and games when you guys get to bet my money. So please go ahead and bet my money along with us. Go ahead and jump into the comments. If you guys have any thoughts on these rapid fire competitions that we're picking for these Sunday slate of games for Championship Sunday, please go ahead, sound off. For me, it's Devonta Adams easily. Levy more so hit the nail on the head when it came to Brady spreading the ball around. And Sam, I agree with you. We know that Devonta Adams has had the best season, I think, of any wide receiver in the National Football League. They're going Rodgers, when you know it's for all the marbles, is going to pepper Devonta Adams with targets. And no disrespect, who I think Carlton Davis and Sean Murphy-Bunting both had fantastic weeks last week in pairing against Michael Thomas. But Devonta Adams is a different beast. Adams is going to be able to do his thing. if you're going to blitz Aaron Rodgers, that's going to leave fewer people to try to bottle up Davonte Adams. I think Adams has a great stat line and a high target total. And of course, he's going to yank in a bunch of those receptions. So let's move on now to Aaron Jones versus Leonard Fournette. Straight up rushing yards. I want to start off here. I'm actually going to go with Leonard Fournette. I just don't think that Aaron Jones has a big day. I think he sees more carries than Leonard Fournette. But me in particular, with Vita Vea back, I just don't. And not to mention Aaron Jones, they've been throwing in Jamal Adams and even A.J. Dillon a little bit in recent weeks. So I don't know if Jones out-touches Leonard Fournette by all that much. I don't think he's going to be all that efficient and effective against this Bucs unit against the run. Give me Leonard Fournette, who gets 12.5-yard handicap, which is sizable enough for me to go in that direction.
I think you meant Jamal Williams, but that's okay. You said Jamal Adams.
Did I say Jamal Adams?
He's excited.
Okay.
He's excited.
That's okay.
Whoopsie, you know.
I agree with you actually on this one. I'm gonna lean Leonard Fournette, and it's for that same reason. Just because the Packers have found a lot of success in mixing in Williams as well as Dillon on occasion, just to keep Jones from, having to be the guy the entire game, because he does take quite a beating. I think that Aaron Jones could still end up with a touchdown, but I think at the end of the game, when you're looking at stat lines, I think that you're gonna probably see a bit higher rushing yards for Leonard Fournette.
Wow, Tater throwing a 20 spot on it.
I'm feeling confident about this one. I'm feeling confident, man.
Rome's, what's up, buddy? Happy birthday, go Bucs. I think it's
Levy, do you agree with going Leonard Fournette there?
I do, because of what you guys said there. I mean, I think Lenny's probably going to get 13 carries. Him and Rojo are each going to have about 10 to 15 carries. And I think he's going to do more than Aaron Jones is, because the other guys involved, Williams and Dillon. So let's go. Fire it in there.
Fired it in, baby. And speaking of fired it in, if you have not yet done so, visit monkey95.com. If you want to roll with us and actually play these contests with us today, use the promo code FOCUS when you create your account. They will match your first deposit up to $50. Just remember that. And speaking of just remember that, you need to they actually have a rapid fire that's 5 for 5, which makes me really want to, but I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and say that. Levy, do you want to do the rapid fire 5 for 5, or do you want to go 6 for 6? I'm actually may throw it over to the folks that are tuning in live. If you want to spend Tater's money, I'll throw in a 5 for 5 as well, if they have the same exact contest.
I think we got to go
with the 6 for 6.
6 for 6 tradition,
Oh, this is a fantasy pointer one though, and I hate those because fantasy.
There you go.
No. Let's go 6 for 6. Yardage totals, receptions, all that jazz. 6 for 6 for the NFC Championship game. We'll start with Aaron Rodgers. You guys both said more on Aaron. I agree with this. It's the one with Brady that concerns me, because
you can go less on that one. I understand.
Oh yeah, I knew you'd see it my way.
I already did this contest this morning on my own account. I goosed my account for this contest, and I went more on Brady. But 2 against 1, go less.
Yeah, I thank you. I knew you'd see it my way. Just little giants. Devonta Adams, though, 7.5 receptions. I know that is a high total, but
more
for Devonta. Sam, I agree with you.
Tell
me why you see 7.5 receptions for Devonta.
Just because I do think that they're going to try and have Rodgers make mistakes, and in doing that, they're going to try and blitz him, and that's going to be an Achilles heel for them in this game. If they do that, like you said, he's going to chuck it to Adams, and he's just another beast. He's on another level. He's going to make plays happen for Rodgers and help him out of those tough situations. So for me, it's going to be more.
Levy?
Yeah, I mean, Carlton Davis is great and everything, but he's not going to have any help from Antoine Winfield. I hate to see that. I'm going to go more as well. I'm going to go more.
You're going to go more? Yeah. It's not just the loss of Antoine Winfield. I mean, we weren't going to see a whole lot of Antoine Winfield. And that's not a winning strategy to have Antoine Winfield manning up Davonte Adams or anything like that. So, I mean, that is definitely not the direction that I want to go. But, I'm with you guys. I think Davonte Adams has a nice game and a big game against this Buccaneers secondary unit, in particular minus Antonio Winfield Jr. or Antoine Winfield Jr., my bad. Antonio Brown, I'm getting them all mixed up.
I just think he's going to be targeted 12 to 15 times, and I'm going to bank on him catching the ball 8 times all day when he's getting that many targets.
So what about Chris Godwin, though? 75.5 receiving yards is the more or less set up. Ryan Griffith, our boy Griff, jumping in with Godwin has a comeback performance, 100 plus and 2 tutties. As a Bucs fan, I'm willing to be wrong on this little 6 for 6 if Godwin drops 100 plus and 2 tutties. So Levy, I'll throw it to you first, though. I mean, Godwin against this secondary. I mean, I know that Jair Alexander, I think he's going to get matched up against Mike Evans. I'm not saying he's going to exclusively line up against Mike Evans, but if I'm going against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Mike Evans in particular, it seems as if this offense can sputter a little bit more when you try to lock him down in particular. I think that Alexander is going to probably line up mostly against Mike Evans, but he'll definitely face Chris Godwin some here and there. But it's really the matchup against Kevin King and Sullivan as the other 2 cover corners, and even Darnell Savage here and there from time to time, or Adrian Amos, depending on where they line up Godwin. How do you see him matching up against the rest of this Packers secondary?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I said it earlier, I think Godwin could still have a good game here, but the way that Brady spreads the ball around, I naturally want to lean less, especially in this scenario if we're going to take Brady less than 287 yards, 286 and a half. So my heart's telling me less. Okay.
Sam?
I agree. I mean, I was looking at that number, and if it had been 85.5, it would have been easier to say less. But I think
they're Vegas for a reason.
I know.
He's going to finish with 74 yards.
They're
Vegas
just making it difficult. But okay. No, I'm going to go less because I do think that Brady's going to get other people involved. We're going to see, maybe even see a touchdown from Scotty Miller. So I think that he's going to be able to get the ball in other players' hands just as effectively. So I feel like Godwin's going to get covered quite a bit. So for me, I'm going to go less.
See, I'll go with less for the competition because, majority rules. No, seriously. But I do want to say that even though I don't expect Godwin to have like a 9-catch day, I expect him probably to be around 5. I do expect him to make some big plays. I mean, again, this is a vertical passing offense in a lot of ways. And Godwin matches up well as long as he's not getting the Jair Alexander treatment. So, and no Antonio Brown to steal a plethora of targets away. Levy, I agree, though. The reason why it's like I'm not going to just go, oh, yeah, well, I'm ignoring you guys and saying more because Brady does spread the ball around quite a bit. But the thing is with the yardage totals, it doesn't matter how many targets he gets necessarily. How many big plays can he pop when he gets those opportunities? So that's more so why I would think that Godwin even though I see him catching 4 or 5 passes, I do think he gets above that total. I think he's around like 90, but I'll go less. Majority rules, spreading the ball around. It's always kind of safer to go less with all those options that Tom Brady has. Speaking of Tom Brady options, we do have Mike Evans to discuss in a second, but Aaron Jones, Sam, that's your boy.
My boy.
62.5 rushing yards against this Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive unit up front. Go!
I think it's just going to be a slight bit more, just a tiny bit more, because I mean, not to say that I'm not just, a crazy Aaron Jones fan, because I am. And if I'm going to own another jersey that's not a Steelers player, it's going to be an Aaron Jones jersey, and I'm going to try my best to get that thing signed. That aside, I do think he's going to have a slight bit more than 62 yards. I don't think he's going to go crazy and have 100 yards, but I could see him hitting, 75, like 80 yards today with a touchdown, maybe 2, just because he can sneak in there. But I'm going to just say it's got to be more for me. 62 is too low.
Levy.
Oh, man, that's such a low number.
He's capable of getting it on one play, isn't he?
Better than that. He's better than that.
That is such a low number. I just feel like, I'm going less. Vita freaking Vea is back. Let's go.
I don't even want to. No.
So, Sam, the reason I'm going less is because of the fact that Vita Vea is back, but also the fact that they've made it a point to get A.J. Dillon a little bit involved. Jamal Williams has also gotten involved. If Aaron Jones
is being right and you're being wrong, okay, it's fine.
Is Aaron Jones going to get enough volume to at probably a less than his normal efficiency rate against arguably the best run defense in the league? Is Aaron Jones going to be able to accumulate that if they're not making a commitment to get him the ball a ton? That's where I'm willing to go less, because the unit for the Bucs is fantastic against the run for the most part, and in particular, getting a run stopper and Vita Vea back is so crucial. Huge impact having Vita Vea back. Levy, I know you. It feels like you want to jump in.
Well, just one thing I want to say is like, even if he gets 15 carries, and I don't know that he does get 15 carries.
Exactly. You need him to pop up
4 yards per carry. I mean, that still only puts him at 60. So no.
Sam, but I'll say this. There were a couple missed opportunities that Alvin Kamara had last week that if he didn't get he could pop a big one. That's where I hate betting against Aaron Jones because Aaron Jones is fantastic. But
that's why I'm okay with you guys betting against him, because I know he is going to succeed.
Sam, I'm trying to win money. Don't talk.
That's fine. We're betting your money, so I'm okay.
That's rude. Mike Evans. Levy, we'll start with you. 64.5 receiving yards. Targets. Tough matchup against Jair Alexander. But it's Mike Evans. You got left.
Yeah, look at him last week.
But Mike Evans can give anybody the business.
I know.
But we are talking about pure yardage output and not like fantasy points.
I'm going less, man. If we're gonna stick with the theme of Brady having less, even though I do think he has more and spreads the ball around, but I'm saying the theme of him spreading the ball out to all his different pass catchers, I'm gonna go with less. The matchup I don't love for Mike Evans.
Sam?
I agree. I don't love the matchup for Mike Evans. I do love that Dried Ocean is there in comments saying he would hammer the over on Evans. He's saying he should get enough targets to get 65 yards. I mean, I would normally, but I don't like the matchup for him. So for that reason, I'm going to go less.
So we're predicting nobody again. I went over on Chris Godwin. I will go less on Mike Evans. I do think that in Dried Ocean, it's not that Mike Evans isn't capable of giving Jair Alexander the business. It's just Brady is a guy that goes where the football, like where the defense dictates. And if you got an easier matchup to go to Cameron Brate or to Rojo or Lenny out of the backfield or to Gronkowski against some of those linebackers and safeties, that's where I feel as if, even though I don't like it, Evans 65 is pretty low for a big play threat. Again, kind of the same thing as Aaron Jones. He can get that in one play, but I will go less. I respect what Jair Alexander has done all season long, so I'll go ahead and go less. So that'll do it for the Monkey Knife Fight picks for this NFC Championship game. So we'll go ahead and what are we doing here, Levy? What are you feeling good about? That you want like a 5 spot? Do you want a 10 spot?
You got me nervous.
Like do 100.
If it's,
I don't have 100 in my account, Sam.
What makes me nervous is Godwin. Godwin. Now you got me thinking. Like if it's your money and you want to do it on this one, I say you go Godwin. More
Godwin. Oh, you want more on Chris Godwin?
If you're throwing a 5, if you're going with the consensus, I say you just do 2. But if it's, I mean, in your gut, Godwin, I don't want this to be the reason we lose. So
I feel really good about it if we go more. So I'm going 10.
Oh yeah,
let's win 350, baby. Let's go. Go Bucs.
Oh, this money's going to go to putting Kennedy through college.
Well, either that or an endless supply of greenies for Sadie. Because it is Sadie Puppy is the name of the account. But so let's change gears though to the AFC Championship game. We have like not even mentioned a word that Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen and everybody like that is playing today, but they are. Kansas City Chiefs are playing in their 3rd straight AFC Championship game, while the Buffalo Bills, holy hell, it has been a long ass time since. Where the hell is Bucs? Is he probably blacked out already by 1:55 p.m. the Eastern Standard?
He's ready. He's nervous.
I think he's just holding his prayer beads and like maybe like some nachos in the other hand and just kind of rotating some sort of synergistic mantra.
It feels criminal that Bucs is not here, Sam.
You know, he needs to do what he needs to do for his team. So if he needs to put himself in a different zone, he's probably wearing a Bills onesie pajama of some sort. He's got the mullet tied back in a braid. I'm sure he's got some sort of tradition that he's doing in order to bring home that win. So I respect what he needs to do. It's his team. Let him be him. If he needs to go break some tables, he'll do that.
Yes. So the Chiefs are favored by 3 at home. The over-under is set at 54.5. So pretty high total there. What are we thinking?
So when taking a look at this matchup in Dried Ocean, yes, we are getting to your team now. We have come full circle finally to the other game that is actually taking place today, 50 minutes into our podcast.
No one's surprised by this.
I mean, Bucs. I mean, we have 2 Bucs fans on here, and we had to talk about Dwayne Haskins and get that out of the way. So poor Steelers. It's Dwayne Haskins, rough day.
We can move on.
We are moving on. We are moving on to Josh Allen and what I expect to be a very competitive AFC Championship game. Patrick Mahomes, though. I mean, Cleveland, I'm surprised that Cleveland was unable to pull it off. I'm shocked that we don't have to talk too much about that game we're looking forward to today, but I really think Cleveland had a chance to knock off the Kansas City Chiefs because they were gift-wrapped. The fact that Patrick Mahomes got knocked out of the game with a concussion, and Mahomes, has been trending in the right direction when it comes to concussion protocols, 5-step process this entire week, right?
Yep.
I fear for the Bills being able to match up on the back end. No one matches up on the back end with the Kansas City Chiefs. And I think that that's going to continue to be the case. I like Trey White. Tre'Davious White is one of my favorite corners in the National Football League, but it is Tyreek Hill. And then you got Travis Kelsey as an issue too. Jordan Poyer, Edmonds at linebacker. Milano at linebacker. I don't like any of the matchups against Travis Kelsey either. I think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to pull this one off, to be honest with you. I think it's going to be 34-21. I think it's a big gap, and I hate saying that, but look, where are the Kansas City Chiefs vulnerable against the run on defense? Right. And right now, no Zach Moss, and Devin Singletary has not looked like the guy that I had hoped he'd be heading into this upcoming season. They can't run the football consistently. And if you're going to put it all on Josh Allen, and Josh Allen has been fantastic this year, but the strength of the Kansas City defense is in their secondary and in their ability to be able to get after the quarterback. I think it's a bad matchup for the Bills. I think it's a bad matchup for Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. So I think the Bills make it competitive in the first half, but I do think that Kansas City runs away with it, and they advance to their second straight Super Bowl.
Now, really quick, I'm just going to say I'm really disappointed in you, Dried Ocean, that you'd rather have Bucs on than me today.
Oh, no. We're there.
So, I will say this. Today, do I think that Patrick Mahomes could see himself seeing repeat Super Bowls? I do, and I absolutely do. However, my heart is going to go with the Bills today, and I think that they have played out of their minds this season and absolutely deserve to make it to the Super Bowl. I think that Josh Allen is going to show up and surprise a lot of people. I think Stephon Diggs is going to make some amazing plays. I think that their defense is going to surprise some people with what they're able to do today. So I'm going to go and ride with the Bills. Bills Mafia. Hope you're watching, Bucs. This one's for you.
Oh yeah, I love it. The Bills have been my second favorite team in the league for years.
Oh, my heart wants the Bills.
Listen, I'm not fully convinced that Patrick Mahomes is fully healthy. Listen, he's
got toe injury he's dealing with too.
Exactly. So look, he is the guy. Like the NFL would let him pass protocol even if the guy was still seeing 3 different ways right now this morning. Like there's no way that this guy was going to miss the game. I am convinced that he is not fully healthy, and the toe injury scares me because if you look at last year in the playoffs, a lot of those third down and long plays, Mahomes is making plays with his legs, and that's what's extending plays. For me, you've got a banged up CEH, you've got a banged up Lev Bell. I don't think the Chiefs are going to do much on the ground. And with Mahomes likely not to run the ball too much, I'm with Sam. I'm going Bills 27, Chiefs 24.
Ooh, wow.
Bills
okay.
Defense is much improved. they average like 14 points per game given up, something crazy like that. They're good, right? I agree that Cheetah and Kelsey are a problem for anybody, right? But
Absolutely.
when all is said and done, I see Josh Allen rushing for 2 touchdowns in this game and more than 40 yards on the ground for Josh Allen. That's the way they win this game. Let's go. Circle the wagons. Bills Mafia, baby.
Bills Mafia, baby. I think that they're going to put a hurt on the Chiefs. And I mean, like I said, I would love to see Mahomes go to the Super Bowl again because I love the player, love the talent of that team. But I just think that the Bills are going to outplay them. And I think that their defense is going to make a lot of big plays that are going to put a hurt on the Chiefs. So, and they'll also take advantage of, like Levy said, a Mahomes who's dealing with injuries, who is not 100% off of that concussion. I mean, he was learning how to walk again after that hit. We all saw him get pulled up and do the Bambi legs as he was getting back to the sidelines. That's very concerning. And I agree that the NFL is not going to just let him sit out. They're going to allow him to pass the protocols so that he can play. I'm just worried about him. I know it's Mahomes and he's an amazing talent. I'm just saying, if he can't extend the play,
lack of quickness into this, like that's rude.
I know that he's going to be able to, if he can't extend the play like he normally does with his quickness because of injuries and being hindered in any way, that is going to be something that keeps him from being full Mahomes. If you don't have full Mahomes, how do you have full confidence in that offense?
Well, the thing is, are the Bills going to be able to take advantage of the fact that Mahomes may not be he'll be slightly less mobile than we're accustomed to dealing with a toe injury, right? But, I mean, are you a huge fan of any of the pass rushers for the Buffalo Bills going up against this unit up front for the Kansas City Chiefs? I mean, Jerry Hughes, Ed Oliver? Like,
I'm an Ed Oliver guy. I had him in.
Do you think they're going to be able to heat up Patrick Mahomes, though? Like, get after him enough to the point where that's my issue. That's the only thing. That's where I don't know how they're going to match up favorably against that unit up front for Kansas City. I
think that they'll be able to get creative in the same way that Bucs gets creative in remaking the ham steak recipes that he has. I think they're going to make some magic happen in the kitchen today.
This is the year, man. Listen, I'm probably the biggest Patrick Mahomes fan that's not a Chiefs fan out there. I love the guy, but anyone else, I just, give me the Bills.
I just got ham-steaked as a counter argument. I got freaking ham-steaked by Sam. I got ham-steaked.
You're welcome.
You got ham-steaked slapped.
Okay, so let's move on to some Monkey Knife Fight picks, though, right?
Let's do it. Monkey Knife Fight picks.
So you guys are both rolling with the Bills Mafia. That's fine. I like to. I'm sorry. I feel bad. Like, I want to go with the Bills, but I can't. I can't do it.
It's okay.
No, it's fine.
Okay. So we got rapid fire, though. Again, Monkey Knife Fight picks. If you have not yet done so, go to monkeyknifefight.com. Use the promo code FOCUS. Just another reminder. Match up to $50 when you make your first deposit. So we got passing yards. Mahomes versus Josh Allen straight up. Again, another pretty close line. Allen, 4.5 yards. He's getting a handicap against the one and only Patrick Mahomes. Sam, what do you think?
I mean, I think that in order for the Bills to win, it's going to have to be him. He's going to have to beat Mahomes in the air, and it's a tall order. I'm not saying that it's not a difficult task ahead of him, but I think that he's got the hype train behind him. He's got Bills Mafia. I'm going to go with Allen on that one. I'm giving the nod to Mahomes not being 100%.
This is really tough. I feel like they should have at least given us like 10.5 yards. I mean, 4.5 yards is nothing.
This is true.
But I'm with Sam. I am going to put my money where my mouth is, and I'm going to go with Josh Allen, Bills Mafia. They're going to win this game. It's on Josh Allen to win this game.
It is. I mean, Tate, this is your money, though. If you want to go with Mahomes, neither of us are really going to be able to put up too much of an argument because it's Patrick freaking Mahomes.
You're getting a $2 bet if we're going with Josh Allen throwing for more passing yards than Patrick Mahomes. Again, the handicap is almost non-existent with 4.5 yards as far as passing yardage totals go. Very, very, very small, minute factor when making my decision. But the fact that Mahomes and Levy and Sam, you both mentioned it when it comes to Mahomes not being quite as mobile with dealing with a turf toe injury, they're going to try to get the ball out of his hands a bit quicker. Like, you're not going to ask Mahomes to buy as much time. You're going to Andy Reid knows this. So likely dialing up some things to get the ball out of Mahomes' hands and let some of those dynamic playmakers do their thing. So I've still got Mahomes in this heads-up matchup. But I will go with Josh Allen because majority rules, and I'm a man of my word. I will go with majority rules when doing these episodes. It's only fair. Receptions, we got Travis Kelsey versus 1.5 receptions for Stephon Diggs. I mean, and Diggs, Levy, Diggs, that dude this year. Like,
oh, that's my guy. I love
Allen. If you got Allen throwing for a lot of yards, Diggs is probably that dude. What do you think? Heads up, though. I mean, Kelsey is a target monster, though. They both are. So that is a big reception bonus.
So here we go.
On Diggs.
I like what you're saying about Mahomes getting rid of the ball quicker. They're going to dial up some plays for that to be effective, right? So for me, I see this as a Diggs with 6 catch and Kelsey with 8. So I am going to go with the Kelsey side on this one because he is going to be a target hog today. You talked about the matchups there. I don't know that the Bills linebackers are going to line up too well with Kelsey. I'm going to go with Kelsey on this side.
It's tough. It's tough for me. I would go with Stephon Diggs here, and just by 1 reception more than him, or I guess 1.5 because that's a stupid 0.5. But I just got to give it to Diggs here. I mean, he's been so successful with Josh Allen being able to not just extend the play, but just get open where he needs to. And I feel like I'm just a little bit nervous about Kelsey, and I'm not necessarily nervous about Kelsey. I'm more nervous about Mahomes than anything else. But I feel like if the Bills are going to win this one, it's going to be through the air in the hands of Stephon Diggs. So if I'm going to put my money where my mouth is and say that the Bills are going to win, I need to say that Stephon Diggs is going to beat Kelsey there.
So, Sam, there was the fact that Stephon Diggs caught 22 more passes than Travis Kelsey did this season. And I know that, Kelsey didn't play in the last game of the season, all that jazz. But Stephon Diggs has been absolutely peppered with targets this year. And I think the game flow is going a bit different from you guys. I think no seriousness. So this plays into this decision that I think that Stephon Diggs is going to see a load of volume. I think they're going to be playing from behind. I think they're still going to have trouble slowing down the Kansas City attack, even though Mahomes is not operating at 100%. But for me, 1.5 receptions is a very big handicap. It's not like they have Jair Alexander or Marcus Lattimore or Marshawn Lattimore. Sorry. Like, they don't have a lockdown corner on the other side for Kansas City. It's more, they are good against the pass, but it's not somebody that's just necessarily going to, I got Stephon Diggs and he's going to struggle. No, it's more of a collective unit, schemes and stuff of that nature from Spagnuolo. So I'm personally going with Sam on this one. I know it was a little bit long-winded, but these two could be a coin flip and it would still be very close, and I'd probably still go Diggs. But for the bonus for 1.5, I mean, I'm going with Diggs on this one.
All right. Next one.
Reception yards. Receiving yards. Reception yards, that doesn't make sense. Receiving yards. Tyreek Hill versus John Brown. 22.5 receiving yard bonus for John Brown. Sam, start with you.
I think despite that handicap, which is huge, I'm still going to give it to Tyreek Hill just because he's the cheetah. He's going to be able to just maximize, even if he doesn't get a ton of receptions today. He's always able to have low receptions and high amount of yards. As someone that owns him in Dynasty and loves him to pieces, that's what I love about him. You can get a lot out of it. So I'm going to go with Tyreek Hill on that one.
Listen, you could set this at plus 67.5 for John Brown, and I'd still take the cheetah. So give me the cheetah. That's not enough to move the line for me. 22.5 yards. Get out of here. No.
I mean, I like Trey White. I do. And we're not 100% sure. I think Gabriel Davis is a game time decision, if I'm not mistaken. And Cole Beasley's been dealing with a knee injury. Are we really 100% certain that John Brown isn't going to see quite a bit of volume today?
I think he's going to see a lot of volume. I'm just saying it's the cheetah. I don't bet against the cheetah.
Agreed. I'm going with Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, you just don't bet against the cheetah, dude.
Don't bet against him.
I'm going with Tyreek. So I'm doing $2 because I think Mahomes is going to outthrow Josh Allen, but that's fine.
Understood. It's your money. All right, let's do the 6 for 6, and then
one more. We got a 6 for 6er again. One more reminder, Levy, if you want to break down the Monkey Knife Fight, promo code, all that jazz.
Yeah, if you guys have never played on Monkey Knife Fight before, first timer, when you make your first deposit of $50, use code FOCUSED or follow the link in the description of this video and get yourself a 100% match bonus. The best and fastest growing DFS site on the market. Let's go. Fire them in there.
Woo.
Monkey Knife Fight. I told you guys this shirt was too big, right? So I had to cut it, and then I accidentally cut it too short. So if I stand up, it's just like stomach. It's great.
Is it midriff? Oh, it's a midriff?
Yeah, no, at the end of it's like right here, so that's not good. So I'm staying sunken down in my chair.
If I was going to do midrifter, I was going to do about 100 crunches before I got in front of the camera, but that's fine.
That's all I do in quarantine is crunches.
I had one of those on this day reminders a couple months back of you wearing a woman's Steelers tank top from 2 years ago.
I'm still need to get that little onesie for Kennedy, so I still lost that.
Onesie soon.
You never bought me my hat, and you owed me a hat for Drew Brees not retiring for a long time, and I let you off the hook.
He's gonna retire this year. So.
I gotta go get my mindset. Let's go. I need to do my.
I feel like Denny Green with the Cardinals when they lost to the Chicago Bears. We let him off the hook. I let you off the hook, Sam.
All right. Well, let's do these pick sixes and let everyone go.
All right,
ribs in the oven, nachos in the microwave. We got to get ready for these games.
All right, let's do this. Let's do this thing. Levy, we'll go with my homeboy, your guy, your boy. 312 passing yards, up or down? Down.
Down.
Sam.
It's a lot of yards.
Yeah, I'm gonna go less.
I'd go more, but all right. Cool. Josh Allen, we got 308.5. You guys predict a big day for Josh Allen. Bills upset. Sam, what do you think yardage total wise?
I'm going to go more, because if Bucs were here, he'd say more.
I'm actually going to go less. I think he throws for 303.
Ooh, yeah. I think 308 is a high total. On the road at Arrowhead. By the way, we haven't even brought up that this is at Arrowhead. I'm gonna go less. Fine. Travis Kelsey, 98.5 receiving yards. Levy.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping they'd do receptions like a 7.5 or a 6.5 on this one. 98.5 is a lot of yards. I'm going to go less.
I will also go less.
I still think we're seeing a lot of Travis Kelsey today, so I was going to go more, but of course, again, I lose less. Stephon Diggs, 7.5 receptions. Samantha.
It's got to be more.
Oh man, I said he gets 6 catches today. I'm
going more because I think
there you go.
I really think Josh Allen is going to have to play from behind, and Diggs is going to dink. Tyreek Hill, 6.5 receptions. That's a little high for me. I'm going less, Sam.
I will also go less. I mean, for me, he's going to end up with more yards just based on what he can do with the ball and the way that they use him in that offense. So I'm going to go less.
I am also going to go less. I think he catches 5 balls, maybe 6.
Yeah, the cheetah can do all his damage in 4 or 5 receptions. Hell, he can do it in 1 or 2.
He doesn't need a ton of catches. He gets all the yards.
Right, exactly. John Brown, no, excuse me, 58.5 receiving yards. Sam.
That's tough. I think I guess I'll go a touch more than 58.5. I mean, that's low. And just given how many other injuries that they're dealing with their receivers, I'll go just a little bit more. And he'll get like 59.
It's a Dawson Knox day. I'm going less.
Oh, God. You're calling a Dawson Knox shot?
Knox day. Knox, do you think Knox is going to have a good day?
Yeah, I'm going to say knock it off.
Yes.
knocks it off. Knock that shit off. I think it's John Brown, man. I mean, with a dinged up injury receiver group, and a lot of attention being paid to Stephon Diggs, who's still going to have a good day. But for me, John Brown is really underrated, really underappreciated. And if you guys think that Josh Allen's going to throw for 308 yards, I just don't see how the answer isn't more.
It's got to be more.
Because Smokey Brown can definitely have himself a big-ass day. And he can get this in one play with Josh Allen's arm. So give me I'm going the more. This is a weird hodgepodge of not agreeing. This is how it looks. So if you like how it looks and you want to win $70 for only putting into 35 times your buy-in, go to monkeyknifefight.com, use the promo code FOCUS when you create an account, and you can go ahead and win a little bit of money with us because we're winning today. The Bucs are winning. You damn well know the Bucs are winning. I want the Bills to win. Do I know if the Bills are going to win? I hope so.
I'm
I
excited,
hope that.
man.
I'm excited for our group chat during this game, so that when every time Rodgers does something crazy, I can be like, "Yay!" And you guys.
You're gonna get some hate messages today. So
no, seriously. Thank you for telling me that was your plan. Don't do that shit. I don't antagonize you during a Steelers loss.
This is true.
Green Bay is the first half team. They might jump out to the lead in the first half, but who do you want down the stretch in the second half of a NFC championship game or any championship game?
Hey, last time I checked, last NFC championship game, how did Aaron Rodgers play?
Yeah.
Not good.
No.
Answer's not good.
He's a different guy this year. MVP Rodgers. That's going to be fine. Anyways, let's go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Please head on over to Monkey Knife Fight. Really quick, use code FOCUSED to make those prop bets right before the game. I hope everyone has a fantastic and wonderful football Sunday. I'm excited. Another last couple days of football. Guys, it's been awesome. Have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. And good luck to all of your teams. Go Packers.
See you guys.
Why? No, hell. Yeah, baby.